Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're ranking the best small forwards in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM on a tier list. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I upload basically every day, although I know I haven't uploaded the last 2 days. I was out of town. I intended to come back Sunday morning and then still upload Sunday. I would be back Monday, so I'd upload Monday. Turned out that my plans changed, and I wound up staying out of town for about 2 days longer than I intended. I actually just got back. It's Tuesday at 12:50. This video will be going up really right after I finish recording and editing it, so trying to get y'all a video today, but I do apologize for not uploading the last 2 days. That's why I was out of town, so that's my bad. But generally speaking, I upload basically every day, often multiple videos a day, and I would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe if you haven't already, to help support the channel. Without further ado, let's not waste your time. Let's hop right into it. Let's start off with Mr. Grant Hill. I think is probably in the B tier. So this list, in all honesty, if you look at these cards, most of these cards are very, very good. So I have to be pretty picky with where I rank certain players on this list. Just got to keep that in mind while I'm ranking this, because we're going to have some really good players in lower tiers. And even Grant Hill, like B tier, is not, I mean, he's not like a elite card. I wouldn't even consider really putting him in A tier. He's 6'8" with 6'11" wingspan, hot spots from 3 out of 5 spots. 15 hops include finishing badges, corner specialist, quick first step, and good defensive badges. Defensive stats are also really good. He's good on the interior. He's got good solid size, a good slasher, great speed and excel. He's a solid shooter with a decent release. Like, overall, he's a really, really solid card. Definitely needs badges added, like Blinders, Chef, Limitless, Deadeye, Bailout, Chase Down, Rim Protector. Like, that's a lot of badges that he needs added to him, and he can't even get Brick Wall. And his release is also on normal. That's a flaw. Base dribble style, also a flaw. So the fact that he needs a lot of badges, his release is on normal, even though it is a acceptable release, and base dribble style, so he doesn't have that playmaking ability at all. Those are the things that hold this card back and prevent him from being any higher than B tier. Stats wise, badge wise, all that, he's very good. Animations don't help his cause, so for that reason, I can't put him any higher than B, and I'd even potentially consider moving him down to C. Ben Wallace is actually a very, very good card. I think he's definitely A tier. The thing about Ben is he's got really good size at 6'9", so that's the first thing he has going for him. He's got great size. Hot spots from both corners, 15 hops, which are literally all defensive hops, which is just absolutely incredible. Does need a few badges added. Quick chain, shooting badges are the main thing though. Limitless, Blinders, Chef, Deadeye, Sniper are the 5 badges that add to him there. Elite defender though, which is really, really nice. Incredible rebounder as well. Obviously he's a big man playing the wing. Super fast, not the greatest shooter, but with the badges added, a 3-point shoe and a coach boost, you're going to get that into the mid 80s to high 80s on the 3-point rating, in addition to having all the gold shooting badges. So he's going to be just fine as a shooter. Every finishing badge on gold as well. Playmaking badges are pretty solid for a guy who's not a primary playmaker, and going to be one of the best defensive cards in the game, most versatile defensive cards as well. So that is really good. His release is very nice as well. I'm a huge fan of Ben Wallace's release. Shifty dribble style is good. The rest of his sigs aren't great, but he has a solid sig in his dribble style. Really, really good jump shot, and overall one of the best defensive cards in the game. He's an elite card, definitely an A tier guy to me personally. Evan Mobley, is he A tier? I don't know if this card is, I mean, he might be A tier. The thing that makes Evan Mobley good is the fact that he's 7 foot tall and he is a really good defender. I guess I don't know. This is a tough one because I think he's good, but I don't think he's like the greatest card in the world. He doesn't play quite as good on defense as I would say his badges say he does. He has good, really good defensive stats, really good defensive badges as well. I feel like he slides a little bit on defense. He does have hop, catch, and limitless as well, which is really nice for a spot up guy who's going to be a catch and shoot guy on the offensive end of the court. Does need a few badges added, like a Blinders, Chef, quick first step, unpluckable, things like that. But overall, it has come pretty solidly complete. Not the fastest small forward in the world, but he is 7 foot. Like I said, so that's incredible size. Jump shot is nice, 84 on quick is solid. Fundamental dribble style, I mean, he can score the ball, but without quick or shifty, he's really not going to be that primary ball handler or anything close to it. So he's just going to be a tertiary ball handler at best. So he's mostly a catch and shoot guy on the offensive end of the court, and a guy who's really versatile defensively. Maybe not the best perimeter defender, despite his stats and badges saying he would be pretty darn good, but on the interior, he's really good. He does give you great versatility, and he is a nice, really, really good budget option. So I think he definitely is still probably A tier, and a really, really good card overall. Carmelo, I'm putting in C tier. Carmelo, this is a current gen list, and I think the fact that, for one, Carmelo can't shoot corner threes is a pretty big flaw. Shooting badges are awesome on the card. He's a really good shooter. He's got great speed and excel. Like, he is a very, very solid card, but no half quick first step, no half defensive badges. Those are a couple flaws there for a guy who also doesn't have a good dribble style, slasher dribble style. That's an issue. His jump shot on normal, can't shoot corner threes. He's got some relatively significant flaws to him there, not having defensive hops, which is important for a small forward who's going to be like your on-ball lock most of the time. The fact that he can't shoot those corner threes, jumper bang on normal, lack of movement. He is not one of the better cards in this list. Honestly, with how strong this list is, I could even consider putting him in D tier, I'd say. For now, I think I will leave him in the C tier. But honestly, looking at this list, there aren't that many cards that I'd honestly put below him, so I might wind up moving him down to D tier. We'll have to wait and see. Cincy Powell. Some people love this card. Splash used him in 250. I am not a big fan of Cincy. I don't know. I think he's undersized at the 3 at only 6'7". Doesn't have a great player model. I know his stats and badges are really good, but I guess I'm biased. I don't like the card very much. I know he's got a great release at it too. I love the XM release on quick. It's very smooth, easy to green. He's got solid movement, shifty dribble style. The Kyrie size up is really good. Like he's a very, very solid card. He's got great speed, really solid defender. I mean, overall he's good. He just doesn't feel like he plays great. He's so undersized with only being 6'7", but also having a small player build. Half catch, sniper, quick first step, really solid defensive badges, finishing as well. He's objectively A tier, you know what I mean? But I just don't love the card, so I feel like, I don't know. I'm going to stick with my gut. I'm going to put him in B tier. He's not bad, but he just doesn't quite move the needle for me. T-Mac also, I don't know, bro. This is hard because there's a lot of really good cards on this list. Like I don't want to put too many cards up in the A tier, but T-Mac and Cincy are both cards that I'd consider moving up to the A tier. I'm actually going to move Grant Hill down because if I'm going to be this harsh on it and put these guys in B tier, Grant Hill is not on these two guys' level, so he's definitely got to move down to the C tier. But T-Mac is 6'8" with 7'2" wingspan, so he's got solid size. Hotspots from everywhere. 20 hoffs, include mostly shooting and finishing badges, as well as hoff quick first step, quick chain, clamps. Solid, really good perimeter defender, even without elite gold badge or hoff badges on defense. Only needs like brick wall and rim protector added, so he does come pretty complete on the badge side, which is nice. Jumper is obviously very solid. On normal, I wish it was on quick or very quick. Definitely would help the card out a bit, but even on normal, it's still a solid enough jumper. The problem with him, lack of movement, lack of Hoff defensive badges. For your 3, you want them to be that elite perimeter defender. T-Mac is not going to give you that, and not going to be that elite interior defender either, but he's going to be solid, so it's not a huge flaw. It doesn't have great movement either. He's better than these guys in C tier, but his lack of movement still does prevent him from being any higher than the B tier for me personally. And similarly for Paul George, actually PG might not even be B tier, because here's the thing about PG. When we get a good PG with great SIGs and things like that, the ability to get every badge, he's going to be a beast. But right now his release is on normal. He's got the fundamental dribble style. That's 2 flaws right there. 95 speed and excel is very good. His stats are amazing. His badges are solid. Hoff quick first step is the biggest playmaking badge. Has good defensive badges. Here's the other flaw with the card though. No brick wall, no post lock, no rim protector. Can't get any of those badges because of the fact that he is a Evo card, and the Evo cards until these last 2 Evo sets that they've dropped weren't able to get badges. Still a very, very good shooter, but normal dribble style, normal timing, fundamental dribble style, and not able to get those interior badges. Those are a couple flaws that do hurt this card for sure. He's still good, but I would take the other 2 guys in B tier above him. I do still think he is good enough though with his good size, solid defense, and nice jumper that he is still a B tier guy. Scotty Barnes is A tier. And he's very, very good. Like this Scotty Barnes card, I know he's 6'7", similarly to Cincy, but there's a big difference between him and Cincy because he has a much better player build than Cincy does. Also, his Evo is very nice because it makes him able to dribble the ball. But hotspots from both corners and the top of the key. 20 hops include finishing badges, quick first step, bailout, bullet passer, which is nice as well, and great defensive badges. Defensive stats are amazing as well, which is super valuable. Does, again, help make up for that slight lack of size. But he has a good player build. He doesn't look 6'7". Does need badges added. Blinder, Chef, Sniper, Deadeye are key badges to add for sure. Maybe Hyperdrive, Quick Chain, something like that as well to help his playmaking ability. But he's a good shooter, good speed, elite defender. John Wall release on very quick is really good though. I'm a big fan of his release. Shifty dribble style as well. Kobe size up, the perfectly behind the back. He's got the movement going for him, which is also very, very valuable. And I'm a big fan of the jumper, like I said, in addition to him being a really good defender. He's a very, very solid card. One of the best small forwards in the game. Honestly, you could probably make an argument for him S tier. I don't think I'm going to put him S tier because there are so few guys in this list that I do still think are better than him, but he is a very, very solid option for sure. Danny Granger, I feel like I got to put some cards in D tier, but I don't think Danny Granger is one of those cards. He's still okay. I'm not high on this card, but I don't think he's horrible. The problem, 6'9", 7'1", wingspan's good size. Hotspots from everywhere is nice. 15 hoffs, but they're all shooting badges. No Hoff limitless. No Hoff quick first step. No Hoff key defensive badges. Like off-ball pass is not a very key defensive badge. Defensive stats are really mediocre. Needs a lot of playmaking and defensive badges as well as Chef added to him. He's a good shooter, but his release is on normal. He's got fundamental dribble style. Jumper is on normal, like I said. He's not a very good defender, so that's a flaw. No playmate, not elite playmaking, another flaw. Jump shot on normal, another flaw. That's 3 relatively significant flaws, and kind of like these other guys, having 3 significant flaws will hold you back and put you down in the C tier. I could even think you could make an argument for Granger on the D tier. I think he's the worst card that we've looked over so far, but for me personally, I still will leave him in the C tier, at least for now. If we need some people in the D tier at the end, Granger is definitely one of those guys who's probably going to be moved down, though. Paul Millsap, I think, fits in with the other guys and beats here pretty well. He's a solid enough card. Not elite, but definitely not bad. 6'8" is fine height. Hospital from 4 out of 5 spots. 15 hoffs. Includes some interesting finishing badges. Catch and shoot corner specialist. No hoff quick first step, but that's okay because he does have really good defensive badges, which is nice. Great on the perimeter. Solid, really good on the interior as well, which is nice. He's pretty well rounded on those badges and stats. Good enough shooter, slasher, and has decent athleticism. So overall, stat and badge wise, pretty darn good. Jump shot is solid on quick as well. Fundamental dribble style, maybe not the greatest. Kobe size up is good. So he doesn't have elite playmaking. He's not the most like jump off the page amazing card in terms of his badges, especially the shooting and playmaking ones, but he is a very, very solid, well-rounded card. Definitely, I'd say better than PG, maybe not better than T-Mac or Sensi. He's probably similar on a similar level to those guys, but definitely a solid enough card. And again, I think he does slide into the B tier. Now, Trey Murphy actually slides into the B tier as well, and I know he's an amethyst, but I think once this card is evoed, he's actually very, very good. One thing he has going for him: 6'8" with 7-foot wingspan. He's got a big player build as well, so he looks tall. That's nice. Only 2 hoffs, but they're quick for step and downhill, which are solid hoffs to have. 49 golds as well. Include most of the key shooting badges that you need. Really, basically all the shooting badges except for Chef. You can add a quick chain for playmaking, ankle braces, ball stripper on defense. He's a solid enough defender, maybe not the greatest defensive stats in the world, but he has decent size, plays solid defense, a really good slasher, good speed as well, and a solid shooter. Trey Burke release on quick, very, very nice. Shift to dribble style as well is great. So he's got good movement, a nice jumper, and solid enough stats and badges. He is a good card. I think his badges may not be the greatest with only having 2 hoffs, but that's the biggest flaw on the card because other than that, he is relatively a pretty good card. And I think for these guys who all kind of have one flaw, Trey Murphy fits into that category and does deserve to be a B tier guy. Cedric Maxwell. Now the question with Cedric is he an S tier small forward? Because at shooting guard, he's S tier. Is he S tier at small forward though? And I don't know. It's really tough because you got, I mean, there's like definitely 2, 3. I think he's S tier. I think he's S tier. I'm going to give it to him. I think he definitely is probably S tier. It's very, very close, though. It's very tough at the small forward position. There's like 6 or 7 guys that you could argue for the S tier, but I am going to give Cedric that benefit of the doubt. 6'8" with a 7'1" wingspan. Hotspots from 4 out of 5 spots. 24 hoffs, include pretty darn good hoffs. I wish he maybe had hoff chef, hoff limitless, hoff sniper, maybe hoff interceptor, rim protector on defense, but overall, still a very good card. Great playmaking with quick first step and handles for days on hoff. Really great perimeter defender as well, and solid on the interior. Great slasher, speed, really good shooter. Has base 3 on very quick, which is obviously amazing. One of the best and quickest releases in the game. Quick dribble style as well. Kobe size up. So he's got decent full court and half, or I guess decent, pretty good half court sigs. Full court sigs aren't great, but he is able to create his own shot. Has enough size to play defense at a very, very good level. Is one of the best shooters, catch and shoot or off the dribble in the game, and overall is definitely a very, very good card. One of the top small forwards or shooting guards, regardless of where you want to play him in the game, and I do think he is probably in the S tier. Now the question, again, Rudy Gay is another one of those guys who right on the borderline of being S tier, because there's a couple guys in this list who are like definitively S tier, and then you have to find 3 or 4 more guys that you want to put in the S tier, and it's debatable between some of these other guys on the list. For me, I think Rudy Gay is also going to get the benefit of the doubt and be put in S tier. And I think I'm going to wind up putting 6 guys in S tier, because looking at the rest of this list, there's 4 other guys that I do think deserve to be in the S tier. But Rudy Gay, 6'8" with 7'3" wingspan and a really big player build, so he's got great size. Hotspots from 3 out of 5 spots. 19 hoffs, include catch, corner, quick first step, finishing badges, quick chain, and clamps, interceptor, pogo stick. So he's at least got solid defensive hoffs with the 3 hoffs that he has. He's a really good perimeter defender, decent in the interior as well. One badge he doesn't get is brick wall. It's kind of annoying, but you need to add limitless and chef tone. Those are the 2 key badges to add. Great slasher. Really good athleticism, good shot 3. He's got quick dribble style, which is super nice, in the pippin behind the back, so he's got pretty good movement. His Rudy Gay release on quick is one of my favorite releases in the game because of how smooth and easy to green it is. Really am a fan of Rudy Gay every single year in 2K, and this year is no different. He's just a stud. I'm a big fan of this card, and I do think he is a S tier shooting guard. I'm sorry, S tier small forward in the game right now. Danilo Gallinari, probably down in C tier with some of these other guys. Just not a great card, to be completely honest. He's not bad, but he's got good size at 6'10", which is nice, but he's not super fast. His defense is acceptable, but nothing nuts. Hoff interceptor is nice, but no other Hoff defensive badges that are key. Needs ankle braces, ball stripper, pickpocket, rim protector added. So definitely going to want to add those cards if you do want to use this card. Great shooting badges though. No Hoff good first step or handless for days or something like that. Bullet passer though is solid. just not the greatest defender. I'd say he's a tiny bit slow. Release is nice and shifty dribble style is good. He's not bad. Honestly, he's better than all these guys in C tier, but I just don't think he just doesn't jump off the page. He's not a great defender. I don't feel like he plays great on court from what I've seen. Just not a card who impresses me. Sigs besides shifty dribble style aren't great. Again, kind of slow, not great playmaking or defense. Unfortunately, I don't know. There's just a lot of really good cards in this list, and for me, Gallinari doesn't quite make the cut. He's not bad, but I think he's right around the top of C tier for me personally. AK-47. I'll say this, I ran this card over Danny Granger, so I honestly think it's only fair that I still have to put him over Granger in this tier list. That being said, I do think it's getting tough because I feel like I have to put some guys in D tier and F tier, and there are a lot of really good cards on this list. There's only a couple guys that I see that I think are legitimate F tier. So for me, I want to move Granger down to D tier because I just don't think he's good at all. But AK, the one thing that he does give you is elite defense. He's a very, very good defender. Offensively, mediocre at best, but he's got really good size. Bunch of great Hoff defensive badges and elite defensive stats as well as Hoff bullet passer. Good enough shooter, speed, shooting badges are solid. He still needs Deadeye, Limitless, and Sniper added. But overall, he's pretty good, and he's an incredible defender. Jump shot 98, even on normal, is still solid. I wish it was on quicker, very quick at this point in the year, but it's still acceptable. So that is nice. But no movement at all. That's not great. And the jumper being not being on normal. I'm sorry, the jumper being on normal is definitely a little bit of a detriment. He's got some flaws. The best defender in C tier, but overall right around the level of the rest of these cards in C tier. So yeah, I think C tier is the fair spot for AK at this point. Dave DeBuscher. I could not tell you where I'd put this card because I've never looked at his stats. He's 6'6" with a 6'9" wingspan. That's a flaw. He's undersized. 88 speed and excel. That's a flaw, especially for a short player. Decent shooter, decent dunker, really good defensive. Wow, his defensive badges are amazing. That's nice. But he needs Limitless. He needs Sniper. He needs Blinders. He needs Chef. He needs Deadeye. That's 5 badges right there. Only has one of the badge slot to go with. You can use a Quick Chain or Hustler or something like that. So overall, you can get most of the badges he needs. Jump shot 26 is fine. On quick, it's fine. Fundamental dribble style, though, he is so undersized. I don't know. He's really, really small. I know he's got great defensive badges and an acceptable jumper, but you are so undersized. I'm sorry, I have to put you in D tier. When you're only 6'6" and you don't really have any sort of playmaking ability, and you're not super fast, all you have is defense. The lack of size really does hurt on the defensive end a little bit, and that takes away that benefit. So for me, you're a D tier guy. Sorry, Dave. Rick Barry. I think probably C tier. I think that's probably fair. Again, not a great card. He's a little slow at 89 speed and excel, only 6'7". Badges are really good except for the defensive end, but he does have the solid defensive stats and every key gold defensive badge except for brick wall, which you can add. So that's nice. Not the greatest defender though. I kind of like a Carmelo Anthony type of guy. Jump shot 18 is I think this is a bit of an odd jumper. Yeah, it's the Manu jumper, which isn't great to be completely honest. On quick, it's better, but it's still not amazing. And fundamental dribble style is again not great either. So not a great defender, not a great jump shot. Maybe not the greatest of size, and he doesn't have great movement. Honestly, Rick Barry, I'm sorry, that's 4 flaws. I have to move you down to D tier because I don't think you're any better than these guys who are in the D tier, and we got to put some more guys in D tier. So Rick Barry, you're also another D tier guy. Scottie Pippen, you could make an argument for S tier. For me, I'm going to put him A tier, but he is a very, very good card. Pippen is a card that I didn't run in 250, but I honestly should have because he was amazing at that point in the year. And he's still very good. 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan. Hot spots in 3 out of 5 spots. 17 hops include poster, catch, corner, sniper, quick first step, and great defensive badges. Only badges he needs added are blinders, chef, maybe hyperdrive, quick chain, and then brick wall. Really great defensive stats on the perimeter, but solid on the interior as well. 90 driving dunk. He's got good speed. He's a good shooter. Jump shot 30 on quick is very solid. It's not the fastest jumper in the world, but it's very smooth and very easy to green. Quick dribble style, Kobe size up, and the Pro 3 behind the back. So he's got good full court and half court sigs. Overall, very, very good card. No significant flaws. I just don't think he's maybe... I don't know. He's not as good as the guys that I'm putting in S tier. I'll say that. But he, similar to Scotty Barnes, Ben Wallace, is a very, very good card. Very usable, even in a competitive setting at the small forward or shooting guard position. Very, very good option for sure is Scottie Pippen. AD is yet another guy that I just don't think I can put in the S tier because there's a few more guys that I do think deserve it a little bit more than AD. And maybe I'm biased, but I don't know. He doesn't play amazingly on the court. Kind of like Evan Mobley. Not a bad card, but he doesn't play as good as his badges would say on the defensive end of the court. 6'10" with a 7'2" wingspan is nice. 4 out of 5 hops. Hot spots. 20 hops include catch, corner, quick first step, finishing badges, and really good defensive badges like a chase down his clamp. Basically, all of his defensive badges are really good, to be honest. Great interior defender and pretty good on the perimeter. Doesn't play maybe the greatest perimeter defense on ball, but he's definitely not bad. He's a really, really good versatile defender, which is nice in terms of his ability, obviously, to guard bigs, with him being a big man himself. 89 shot 3 is good as well. And he's got the AD release on quick, which is nice and smooth, easy to green, fundamental dribble style, especially on a big dude. He's not going to be much of a playmaker, but he does have... he's a really solid defender, especially on the interior, has good versatility. Definitely another A tier guy, just not quite good enough to be in the S tier for me personally. Iggy goes into the same category as a guy like Dave DeBuscher, where he's a very, very solid card on paper, but with a lack of playmaking and the fact that his defense really is a little bit overshadowed by the fact that he's only 6'6". Those are his big flaws. That's why I put him in D tier. Jumper is fine, but no movement. That hurts. No elite shooting badges either. He's not great. Off quick first step is nice, and he still needs a bullet passer, a bunch of shooting badges added, as well as brick wall. And additionally, and like I said, the fact that he's only 6'6" hurts his defensive ability as well, which is really the strength of the card. So for me, he slips down to the D tier, just like a guy like Dave DeBuscher. Giannis is pretty easily S tier. I think he's right up there as the best small forward in the game, arguably. Very, very good card for sure. He's 6'11" with 7'4" wingspan, 94 speed and excel is great. He's a good shooter. Really has everything on the card. Elite defender, elite slasher, really good rebounder. He's got great size. He's probably the most versatile 1 through 5 defender in the game. Half quick first step is nice. Only thing is he doesn't get limitless, but with a big small forward, he's going to sit in the corner most of the time anyway. So I don't really think that's that big of an issue, to be honest, because he's still going to catch and shoot and green really easily, especially with sniper blinders, chef, and deadeye added to him. 83 shot 3 as well with a coach and shoot boost. You're getting that well up into the 90s. And overall, he's a beast. Really good jumper as well. Fundamental dribble style with half kick for step is nice. He's not going to be the greatest playmaker, again, similar to guys like Mobley and AD because of how big he is, but at least he has that capability as well. And he is the most versatile defender in the game as well. Giannis is always amazing in 2K. This year is no different. I do think he's an S tier guy. Jamal Mashburn is a card I haven't looked at all, so I really couldn't even give my opinion on the card until I look at his card. But 6'8" with 6'11" wingspan is solid size. 12 hoffs, mostly finishing badges as well as not great shooting badges, and brick wall. Brick wall is good, I guess, but he's not really going to be much of a screener, so that only helps you in terms of back down defense. Needs limitless and chef added, as well as ankle braces, ball stripper, intimidator, post. He doesn't have enough badge slots, and his defense is really mediocre. Yeah, this is not a great card, to be honest. His hoff badges are kind of not good ones either. Kind of wasted hoffs. Jump shot 1 on quick is fine. Quick dribble style is fine. His sigs besides that are mediocre at best. Not a great card at all, honestly. At this point in the year, I think he's another D tier guy. I think he's a bit of a dud. Dominique, maybe C tier. I don't know. It's C or D again for Dominique. Like, he's just mediocre at best. 6'7" with 6'10" wingspan is mediocre size. Hotspots from 4 out of 5 spots. 15 hoffs, including mainly finishing badges. Only key hoffs he has is like quick first step, clamps, and menace, which I guess needs blinders, chef, limitless. That's 3 of his 6 badge slots. Then brick wall, post, lockdown, and rim protector. So he can get relatively complete on the badge side, which is nice. He's got good speed. He's a good shooter. 98 driving dunk is nice. Defensive stats they're acceptable. They're not great, but they're not terrible. Jump shot is on normal, fundamental dribble style. I don't know. His jump shot 8 on normal is still not super slow, so that is okay, but it's not great. He doesn't have great playmaking. A little bit undersized at only 6'7". Badges defensively are just his key badges are not that impressive. I don't know, man. I'm sorry, Dominique. You're just not doing it for me. You got to be picky. You're another D tier guy. Larry Bird is a card who is acceptable. Not great, but not terrible. He is 6'9", so that's good size. Hoffs are everywhere. 15 hoffs. Includes some good shooting badges, Hoff bullet passer, and good defensive badges. Needs brick wall, chase down artist, rim protector, quick first step, all added to him. Good interior defense and lateral quickness is solid. He's an acceptable dunker. He's kind of slow. He's not going to be much of a playmaker, but he's a good 3 and D guy, which is nice. Larry Bird, released on normal, is not great. Those movement sucks. Released on normal and the lack of movement does hurt the card. He's not super fast, but he's a 3 and D guy. Very similar to AK, not quite as good of a defender, probably a better shooter. I do think he is still good enough to be at C tier, especially with the 6'9" height. Just not a card I am super high on at this point in the game. Sharif Abdur-Rahim is acceptable. Really like a lot of these other cards. I think he's good enough to probably slide into the B tier. He is 6'9", 17 hoffs, includes some good finishing ones. Catch, corner, quick first step, post, lockdown, rebound chaser. I wish he had perimeter defensive badges, but he does have acceptable defensive stats. Needs ball stripper, pick dodger added to him, as well as limitless, deadeye, blinder, chef. So that's going to be his 6 badge slots. 90 driving dunk is good. 90 speed and excel is good. He's an acceptable shooter. He's got a good release. 81 on quick is actually very good. Fundamental dribble style as well. He's better than Larry Bird, but honestly, I don't know, man. I think he still might be C tier. Looking at the guys who are left on this list, most of these guys are better than Sharif Abdur-Rahim. So to be honest, I think he still goes C tier. Jeremy Grant is probably A tier, but we have a lot of good small forwards left. Yeah, we're going to put Jeremy Grant A tier. I think that's fair. He's better than a few of these guys. I think he's good enough that he does deserve to be A tier. He's a very, very good card, honestly. 6'8" with a 7'2" wingspan is good size. Hotspots from all 5 spots outside the 3. Solid finishing badge as well as catch, sniper, and corner. Quick for step and great defensive badges. Really great defensive stats as well. Only needs like brick wall, chef, and deadeye added to him. Good shooter, good speed, great dunker. Jump shot is nice and smooth. Not the fastest jumper on quick, but it is solid and very easy to green. Quick dribble style as well. And the Kobe size, so he's got good half court 6. Overall, honestly, a very, very good card. I do think he definitely is good enough to be in the A tier and does deserve a spot pretty high up on this list. Kawhi is right up there with these guys like Pippen and Grant. I think he's really on about the same level as them. Not as good of a playmaker as those two, but one of the best on-ball defenders in the game. With good size as well, only 6'7", but he's got really long arms and a nice player build. You'll know how Kawhi is in game. 22 Hoffs as well. Includes some really great shooting badges. Hoff quick first step, limitless and posterizer on the finishing area, and then great defensive badges as well. Only needs like brick wall, chef added to him as well. 95 speed and excel is very, very good. Really great shooter, really good dunker, and an incredible defender. Maybe the best perimeter defender in the game, and solid on the interior as well, especially for a guy who's only 6'7". Ray Allen release on quick is good. Kawhi dribble style is the fundamental dribble style, and that is definitely the biggest flaw with the card, is that he's not an elite playmaker, especially at only 6'7", but he still is such a good defender and such a good catch and shoot card that I think he's still probably that best 3-and-D pure guy in the game, and for that reason, he still is an A-tier guy for me. KD. I'm going to be honest, KD, I loved this card, but I do think it has become your time just a little bit. You're a tiny bit outdated. Still definitely good enough for B tier, but not quite as good as he was at one point. He actually got a Dark Matter Dynamic Ratings card, so that's kind of funny. But let's pull up his 75th, because that's the best card. 6'9" with 7'4" wingspan is great size. Hotspots are everywhere. Mostly shooting badges, as well as Hoff, quick chain, quick first step, clamps, intimidator, and menace. So he does have solid badges there. Needs brick wall added, really only brick wall actually. You could add brick wall, rebound chaser or hustler or something like that if you wanted to. Same thing with a mouse in the house. But 95 speed and excel is good. He's a great shooter and he's a really solid dunker. Defensive stats are okay. His badges are solid as well. 94 lateral quickness is good on a guy who's 6'9", so that's nice. KD release on normal is still really smooth and really easy to green. Just wish he had it on quick at this point, and his next card will, which will definitely improve him, as well as shifty dribble style being good. The Pro 2 between the legs and the Pro 3 behind the back, which are also very, very good. I actually don't love his size up. Some people really like it. I'm not a huge fan, but he does have great full court sigs, a decent half court sigs, and a very, very easy to green and smooth release, even if it isn't the fastest at this point in the game. He's a very, very good card, just honestly a tiny bit outdated, and I think he is a B tier guy at the end of the day. Larry Nance. Larry Nance is a great defender. Offensively, maybe a tiny bit limited, but he's not bad. I think he still is a B tier guy. 6'10" with 7 wingspan is obviously phenomenal. Phenomenal height, which is really good. Hops from only both corners, though. Only 10 hops. That's not great, but they're mostly defensive hops, which is nice to have. Needs blinders, catch, deadeye, limitless, and sniper all added to him, which means you're not going to be able to add. He's not going to be fully badged because he's not going to be able to get bailout if you add those 5. So maybe you don't have blinders and you add bailouts, but then he doesn't have blinders, he doesn't have chef. Like, there's going to be a couple badges that he doesn't have regardless with only 5 badge slots, but he is an elite defender, which is really good with great defensive badges on the interior and the perimeter. Great dunker, really solid speed, and an acceptable shooter, especially with those shooting badges added. Jump shot 21 is the same. This is the exact same release as Kareem, except Kareem's is on very quick and Larry Nance is on normal. So that's another flaw in fundamental dribble style. May not be a huge flaw, but obviously it's not going to be as good as a quick or a shifty. Another card who's not bad, though. He's not a bad card at all. I do think he's good enough to really be at the end of B tier. I would say he's better than all these C tier guys, but probably not quite high enough to be in the A tier. Terry Dishinger. I put Cedric in S. So that means Terry has to be A, because Terry's that next level below. And Terry is a good card. I was honestly hoping he'd just be a little bit more upgraded from his Pink Diamond version. That being said, he has really similar player build to Kawhi, where he looks big, so that's nice. Hotspots from all 5 spots outside the 3 and just everywhere in general. Elite finishing and shooting badges, Hoff quick for step, and really good defensive badges as well. Wish he maybe had Hoff Interceptor, Hoff Chef, Hoff handles for days. Like, there's a couple badges you could ask for, but overall he does come pretty good on the badge slots. Needs the brick wall, post lock, and rim protector added. Otherwise, though, he's pretty complete. 94 perimeter and lateral quickness is really good. He's acceptable on the interior. He's a great dunker. Really solid speed at 93 speed and excel, as well as speed with ball, and a 93 shot 3 as well. Rudy Gay release on quick with the Carmelo upper. Really smooth, easy to green, phenomenal release. Big fan of this release for sure. Quick dribble style on the Pro 3 behind the back is nice. Wish he had a better size up than the Luka size up as well. So there are a few flaws with the card, but really it's pretty nitpicky at this point. Like, he's a very, very good card. Definitely is still an A tier guy. I think he's on the level of guys like Pippen, Kawhi, and Jeremy Grant. Hito Turkoglu. I think Hito is the best card in C tier. He's very good on the offensive end of the court. I will give him that. But at 6'10", his movement isn't the greatest, despite having good moving dribble or just good dribble signals in general. 90 speed and excel is good. No Hoff finishing badges, but great shooting and playmaking badges. No Hoff defensive badges either. So there's your flaws. He needs chef, can't get limitless takeoff or posterizer. Needs brick wall, chase down artist, pogo stick, rim protector, maybe pickpocket rebound chaser. So he's gonna be missing a couple badges as well. Not the greatest defensive stats either. Acceptable slasher. He's a really good shooter with pretty good speed. Shifty dribble style. Kobe size up is nice. The Pro 2 between the legs. So he has a good full court sig as well. Jump shot 11 with Rudy Gay upper. It is quick. It seems a little tough to green from what I've seen, but it is definitely a very quick release, so that is good. Just the lack of finishing and defensive badges does hurt him. The fact that he's going to be missing a couple of somewhat key badges as well. He's a good card. I would probably say he is the best card in C tier, but I'm not going to put him higher than C tier at this point in the video. Zion, I will put in S tier. I definitely do think he is up there for the best small forward in the game. Is he the best? I'm not sure. I thought he was, and then I used the card, and he wasn't quite as impressive as I was hoping he'd be, but he is still a very good card. Don't let me confuse y'all about that. Only 6'7", 6'10" wingspan, so he may not have the greatest size in the world, but at the 3 with his really wide player build, big player build, he is still solid. Hoff puts in 3 out of 5 spots. 25 Hoffs include basically every finishing badge you could ever want. Hoff catch, Hoff quick for step, and defensive badges. Does need chef added, does need deadeye added, pick dodger, like those are key badges to add to him. Maybe hyperdrive to use him as a playmaker as well. He's got great speed and excel, which is phenomenal. 92 shot 3, really great defensive stats. Overall, some of the stats, this might be the best statistical card we've seen all video. Incredible slasher as well, obviously. Jump shot 3 on very quick. That's another great thing. He's got the fastest release in the game on very quick, which is super nice. Quick dribble style as well. The Pro 3 behind the back, the John Wall size is good. So he's got half court and full court saves. Excuse me. Zion is an S tier card. There's no doubt about it. He's got basically as good stats and badges as you could have, at least in the playmaking and finish, or in the defensive and finishing badges. And his playmaking and shooting badges are acceptable as well. And overall, he's a very, very good card. Like, there's no doubting that at all. Definitely an S tier guy. Just maybe not definitively the best small forward in the game, like I'd kind of anticipated. So that might be why I sound a little disappointed about the card. But I will say he is still an S tier guy. Now, LeBron. People are going to be annoyed that I'm not putting LeBron S tier. He's simply not S tier. I'm not sure he's S tier on next gen, but he definitely isn't on current gen. He's still A tier. Very good card. He's got good size. 25 Hoffs. Really well-rounded Hoffs as well. Hoff limitless, Hoff sniper, Hoff catch, Hoff quick for step, elite defensive badges, and great finishing. Stat-wise is really, really, really good across the board. Only needs like Hoff or chef added, so it comes pretty complete on badges. The problem with the card is, one, release on quick. It's fine. It's just he shoots corner. He doesn't shoot corner 3s. That's a pretty big flaw, is that he'll step in and shoot those long 2s. Additionally, the LeBron dribble style is the same as slasher or base. I'm not even sure which, but either way, it's not a playmaking dribble style at all, and he is not able to go get his own buckets really much at all on the offensive end, and that is a pretty big flaw. And honestly, that's the type of thing that prevents a card from being in the S tier, especially when you don't have the size of a Giannis. Giannis may have fundamental dribble style, but LeBron's dribble style is worse, and he's much smaller than Giannis, and not as impactful as a defender in terms of his versatility. So overall, I do think LeBron is an A tier guy. He's just not good enough to be S tier. I know he's maybe the greatest basketball player of all time, but in 2K, he's not an S tier small forward right now. Thurl Bailey is one of the last 2 cards that I am going to put in S tier. Maybe I'm gassing it a little bit, but Thurl is honestly just Giannis 2.0 in a lot of ways. They have the same size, 6'11" with 7-foot wingspan. Like, they're basically the same size. Hoss from both corners, just like Giannis. 25 Hoss. Just like Giannis, has really good defensive badges, better playmaking than Giannis as well. Hoff, quick first step, handles for days, hyperdrive is nice. Catch and shoot is really good. Solid finishing badges, he's got good speed, he's a good shooter, gets limitless spot up, blinders, chef, dead. I definitely want to add all 4 of those to him. But he's a really good defender. He's very versatile. He's got interior and perimeter defensive ability with his elite size and elite badges. Jump shot is jump shot 22 on quick, which is honestly very, very solid. Maybe release a little bit slow, but it's good. And fundamental dribble style, again, just like Giannis. Kobe size up is nice to have. He is Giannis 2.0. Maybe not quite as good as Giannis. I still would take Giannis over him, and I do think Giannis is a bit more glitchy, but overall, they play very, very similarly, and I do think Thurl deserves to be an S tier, just like Giannis. Danny Ferry is the final S tier shooting guard. I'm sorry, small forward on this list. I know he's only a peak diamond, but he is a beast. 6'10 with 7'5 wingspan is phenomenal size. Hot switch from all 5 spots outside the 3. 12 hops, which isn't a ton, but posterizer, catch, corner, deadeye, limitless, sniper, quick first step, clamps, interceptor, and intimidator are all crucial Hoff badges. So 10 of his 12 are really good Hoffs. Only needs like ball stripper added to him as well, so he comes really complete. Ball stripper and limitless takeoff, I guess. 90 speed and excel is good. He's a very good shooter. Really well-rounded defender. Nice dunker. Rudy Gay release. I'm sorry, 98 base, Rudy Gay upper on quick. So he's got basically similar release to AK, but it's better, it's faster, and I like the Rudy Gay upper a lot as well. Quick dribble style is great, even though the rest of his dribble sigs aren't phenomenal, but he does have that capability with the good dribble style and elite jump shots to be a tertiary ball handler of sorts. And he's a very, very good, well-rounded defender as well. Great slasher. Overall, really good card. I do think because of his size, his versatility, and his playmaking ability, he is an S tier guy at this point in the game. Jason Tatum, I think, is C tier. Jason Tatum's not bad. He is 6'8", so he's got acceptable size. Defensive badges are pretty good, but he doesn't have super long arms. 15 hops include mostly shooting badges, no playmaking badges. Ball stripper, clamps, interceptor is good. Good defensive stats. Needs brick wall, rim protector, chef added. Otherwise, comes pretty complete. Nice shooter, good slasher. I mean, he's a good card. Like there's no doubt about it. He's a good slasher. He's got good speed. Jumper is fine. The lack of movement is a relatively significant flaw. The jumper on quick is not bad at all, I will say. It's not my favorite jumper in the game, but it's definitely solid enough. I don't know. The lack of playmaking badges and the lack of playmaking ability hurts him with him not having maybe the greatest size, but he is 6'8", even if he doesn't have the greatest player ability. He's got decent size. Not the longest of arms, though. No Hoff playmaking badges hurts a bit. He's a good card. I just think he's a bit outdated at this point. I'm not the highest on him. I don't think he plays the greatest on the court at times, so I am going to put him in the C tier. Paul Pierce is in F tier. He's the worst card on this list. I strongly believe that. This card is terrible. I would never use this card. He's not fast. He's not a great slasher, but he's not bad. All of his shooting badges are shooting. All of his Hoff badges are basically shooting badges. Hoff Intimidator is only key defensive badge. He needs too many badges as well. He needs Chef. He needs Bullet Passer. He needs Quick First Step. That's 3, but then Brick Wall is 4. Chase Down is 5. Interceptor is 6. Pogo Stick, Rebound Chaser, Rim Protector. That's 8 badges right there, not including Menace or Quick Chain or Handles for Days or things like that. Posterizer, Limitless. He just needs way too many badges that are key badges. So that's a huge flaw right there. Paul Pierce release on normal. Shoots corner threes. It's slow. Just not a good release. Quick dribble style as well is good. I'll take that. Kobe Sideswipe is good as well, but that's about all this card has going for him. He needs so many badges added to him. Just not a complete card at all. Stat wise, is really mediocre. He's a big, not a good card in my opinion. Definitely an F tier guy. The only F tier card on this list. And then finally we have Danny Manning, who I think slots in pretty fairly at the B tier. Honestly, similar to Larry Nance, he's got good size at 6'10". He's a pretty well-rounded defender with close to 90s on every stat. Good interior defensive badges is good. Hoff Quick First Step is good. He's a solid shooter. Only needs like Limitless, Deadeye, Blinders, maybe Chef added as shooting badges. Ball stripper, pick dodger as well, I would add. So I would definitely badge the card out. But he is a good shooter. He's got base 4, which is a nice release on quick. I do think this is a very, very solid release. Fundamental dribble style as well. He's your poor man's Giannis, your poor man's Thurl Bailey, even your poor man's kind of like Evan Mobley. He's a good card though, kind of similar to Larry Nance. Can give you a very, very well-rounded defensive card who's got good size, can catch and shoot open. Not a bad card at all. The type of guy that I do think is B tier, especially with really, really good size. So this is my list of the best small forwards in NBA 2K22 right now. Let me know what you think of this tier list down in the comment section down below. And if you did watch the end of the video, I really do appreciate it. This is a long video, so I do appreciate all y'all who watched to this point. If you haven't yet, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. And I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace. If you need cheap, safe, and reliable MT to build the God Squad that you've always wanted, go to NBA2King.com and use code JC2K at checkout for 5% off.